So if I was giving advice to a young engineer now, I would say take every opportunity that's offered to you, and I encourage all the new recruits who join my team here at RiskTech to say yes to anything that they're asked to do, obviously within reason, but opportunities to travel, experience different locations, different cultures, mix with different people, different types of work. I mean, you might be asked to sit in a workshop with 20 or 30 people who have got hundreds of years of experience between them, and the sort of benefits and experiences you would gain just from sitting there and absorbing is really something that you can't measure. So I would say get involved in anything that is offered in terms of different types of work and different experiences, and just say yes. I would also sort of similar to that, I would say don't necessarily specialize straight away or too early. Keep a little bit of the door open to try different things so that you don't narrow your horizons too early. I mean, it's fine to become some kind of technical specialist and eventually become, some kind of authority on a specialist area. But I think certainly in your early years, you want to keep your options open a little bit and try different things to find out what you're best suited at, what you enjoy most, and what works well for you. And I think really what that does is it leads to you being a sort of broader, rounder person, both professionally and personally, because you've got all those experiences under your belt. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's great, Cheryl. Yeah, I'd echo all of that. I think you want to learn as much as you can. You want to learn from your experienced colleagues. In one of our other questions, we talked about the teamwork as a value in the company, and your colleagues will take time out to help and support you. You want to learn from more formal training and education. You might even want to consider taking the RiskTech MSc in Risk and Safety Management in partnership with Liverpool John Moores University. It's not for everybody. It's a significant commitment, but it's a pretty impressive program. And then, I think, as you said, you want to learn on the job from every project. I mean, no two projects are ever the same, even if they might seem the same. There's always something different for you to learn from. I guess I think the other point I would make is I think it's really important to take personal responsibility, with everything that you do. So that's, right from maybe some initial client contact, whether you get involved in proposal writing, your technical work, improving your commercial understanding. It's taking the pride in what you do and taking responsibility for the output that you're generating. You're part of the team, and you've got a key role to play in that team.
I think that's important. I think that actually is echoed at the company level, isn't it? I mean, we've been talking about one of the ways RiskTech has grown and how it's survived for 20 years is because we got a reputation very early on for delivering what we promised, and seeing things through and delivering, and taking responsibility and having integrity as a company value to deliver things that we've promised. And I think that has to trickle down to every individual as well, so that when you're in a team of people and you're a new engineer joining that team, you have to get a reputation within that team as being reliable. And if when people ask you to do something, you have to take responsibility to do it when you said you would do it, and do it as to the best of your ability, so that when you get that personal reputation for being reliable and deliver when required, the work will then flow to you very easily, and people will want to use you more and more, which means you get more and more experiences, which is all great. So I think it's that, like you say, taking responsibility and then getting a reputation for taking responsibility at that individual level for a new engineer. It just means that then their experiences are limitless, because they just keep getting asked to do more and more different things by more and more people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a really exciting time, actually, right now. I mean, there's a big energy transition taking place, as the whole world, well, the energy sector is aiming to sort of decarbonize so the world can meet its sort of climate change goals. That's all got to be done safely and reliably. There's a lot of new technologies that need to be understood and implemented from quite emerging states to to becoming sort of standard technologies out there. And it's just really important that risk management is seen as an enabler to that happening.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a major accident in some of these newer sectors, that could set the sector back a decade or more.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously would then have the knock-on impact on achieving climate change goals. So we've got to make sure those major accidents don't happen. But at the same time, risk management needs to be an enabler. It can't impede innovation, so it can't be too bureaucratic and stifling.
No, it needs to be practical. Yeah.
So it's getting that right balance, isn't it, between controlling risk but not over controlling it to the extent where nothing happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and certainly we're doing a lot at the moment looking at how to transition some of those risk management techniques that are tried and tested in, for instance, the oil and gas industry over to the clean energy sector, to sort of enable that energy transition.
Yeah, and I know that sort of climate change sustainability is very dear to the heart of many younger people.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of coming into the working world now, and they're part of the future, so you've got a really big role to play in that.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice to sort of young engineers is that's a really exciting part of the business to be involved in, and they can play a real major role in helping to achieve that as they develop their careers, applying all the other great advice you gave to them earlier, Cheryl.